I'm genuinely excited to be doing a review of the Technics EAH-AZ60s, and that's coming from someone who's reviewed a majority of its rivals from the likes of Sennheiser, Grado, Jabra, Anker, Libratone, Nura, among many others. Indeed, all the reviews that I've just mentioned will be down in the description below, including purchasing links to the EAH-AZ60s. Now, these earbuds can be found for roughly £200 in the UK and roughly $230 in the US. So to kick off this review, I want to touch upon connectivity. Now, the reason why it's so important is because the Technics EAH-AZ60s support the SBC, AAC and LDAC codecs. The latter is really impressive for a set of true wireless earbuds because it gives you the highest quality playback over Bluetooth. But better still, the Technics also support Bluetooth multipoint. You might be thinking over here you'll have to disable LDAC, but that's not the case. Thankfully, you can run LDAC and Bluetooth multipoint simultaneously, which means that if you're pairing up to two different devices at the same time, it doesn't mean that you have to degrade your overall audio quality playback, which is something that other of its competitors have to do. Now, this meant that I was able to run my Microsoft Surface Go on the SBC codec because that's what it supports, and then was able to switch over to my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus and running the LDAC codec. This meant the switch between two devices was simultaneous because of the Bluetooth multipoint, and furthermore allowed me to enjoy my music to the highest quality fidelity, at least on my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, because I had LDAC codec support. This is seriously impressive, at least to me. I'll be intrigued to hear your thoughts about this feature down in the comment section below. Now elsewhere, the EAH-AZ60s also have a dual master configuration whereby the left and right earbuds can be used in a mono format. Of course, you can use the left and right earbuds in a stereo format. The switch between it is absolutely seamless when you're taking it in or out of the case. I should also point out that I had no issues when it comes to lip sync or video lag delay, and this was when I was connected over the LDAC codec on my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus or to my Microsoft Surface Go running the SBC codec. Now, while its connections properties are seriously impressive, what left me jaw drop is the overall sound quality. Now, these earphones do indeed support the LDAC codec and also have 8mm dynamic drivers. Now, I should point out that for my sound quality assessments, I had active noise cancellation enabled. The reason I mention this is because ANC does boost the mid-bass a slight bit and does have a slight dip in the lower mids. You can counteract this to a certain degree through the app, whereby you've got an equalizer. I'll showcase this further down in this review. So let me break down the overall sound frequency range. First off, in the sub-bass tones, these earbuds are class leading. They go toe-to-toe with the likes of the Grado GT220s and provide you a fantastic low-end extension and a rumble that audiophiles and also bass heads will certainly appreciate. As for the mid-bass, it's tight, it's punchy and also precise. Therefore, you don't have a sense of wobbly sort of nature or an uncontrolled sort of sound. Here, the bass tones that I was able to reproduce on these earbuds were certainly leaving me with a smile on my face, whereby it gave me an exciting sort of sound. Now, its lower mids are a little bit pushed down, and as I did mention, the ANC does also affect this. Now, you can EQ this to a certain degree through the app, but by doing so, you might take away from the overall accuracy. In this department, they don't compete with the likes of the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, which still till this day provide the best overall mid-range reproduction, at least for a set of true wireless earbuds. Now, the upper mids, however, do a fantastic job. Here they set themselves aside from the likes of the Jabra Elite 7 Pros or the Libratone Track Air Plus, among other earbuds on the market, apart from the Sennheiser that I just referenced. Here, the overall sound quality that one can attain in the mid-range on the Technics EAH-AZ60s is something to be impressed about. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say over here is that the vocals will come out on top in comparison to a majority of its competitors, but isn't class leading like the likes of the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2. Now, as for the highs, they extend really well. I had no problems in terms of sibilance or in terms of harshness, and it left me with a lot of excitement when I was listening back to music. Now, best of all, the overall Soundstage provides you great width and depth, something that I've only experienced in the likes of the Grado GT220s, Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, or the creative Outlier Air V1, V2, or even V3. Now, these earbuds provide you the same sort of airy sound, and therefore means that when you're listening to live concert recordings, or indeed just listening to regular music or podcasts or watching movies, you're going to get a sense of a better engagement. Now, as for the instrument separation, it's absolutely fantastic. It's not quite as impressive as the likes of the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, but it's up there with the very best. Ultimately, what I'm trying to convey over here is that the overall sound quality that one can attain with the Technics AZ60s is absolutely fantastic. And specifically compared with other earbuds on the market, and combined with the use of LDAC codec, you're getting an absolutely fantastic experience. So how is the recording quality? Well, everything you can hear right now is coming directly from the earbuds and has the Just My Voice feature enabled. Now, to demonstrate how this feature actually works and is actually pretty useful, at least when you're taking calls, I'm going to do it in terms of a controlled way. I'm going to be playing back my friend's track. It's from Priya J. It's titled Falling, and it's coming directly from my bookshelf speakers. While I'm continuing to speak, hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice over hers. Now, if I go quiet, now hopefully you'll be able to there hear that the focus was on my voice rather than Priya's voice, at least when I was speaking. Now I'm going to disable the Just My Voice feature and come back to you, and hopefully you'll be able to tell the clear difference between it being enabled and disabled. So now that we have the feature disabled, I'm going to go back to playing Priya's track at the same point while continuing to speak with the bookshelf speakers, which haven't changed in volume, and with it the feature disabled. Now I'm going to go quiet. Hopefully there you're able to hear that the differences between it being enabled and disabled were quite stark. In other words, with the feature disabled, you could hear Priya's vocals while I was continuing to speak, and when I did go quiet, you could hear her vocals even more. Whereas with the feature enabled, it really does focus on my voice, which is exactly what it says on the tin and is what you want when you're taking calls. Now, what I will say, however, is that the overall sonic reproduction, in other words, the overall call quality, is a little bit better with the feature disabled. But for the slender amount of difference of recording quality, I would definitely choose the option enabled in order for the recipient of my call to be able to hear my voice a little bit better. Now, just for comparison, here are the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, which I often use as a reference. Now, what I will say is that the Jabras have got a superior call quality, at least when you're in a quiet environment. However, as soon as you're faced with a more noisy environment, such as when we're playing Priya J's track, again, through my bookshelf speakers with the volume that hasn't been changed, the Technics come out on top. And indeed over here, the Jabras do pick up a lot more environmental sounds. So of course, if you're looking at the pure sonic reproduction, the Jabras are better. But when it comes to more real life scenarios, the Technics with their feature enabled actually provide a better and superior call quality because your voice is being prioritized over your surrounding environment. Now, while I've only been singing praise about the AZ60s, they are let down in their active noise cancellation levels. Now here, in comparison to the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, which aren't exactly class-leading earbuds in this department, the AZ60s actually do a worse job. Now there is a means of customizing it through the app, and even then, in terms of the level that I found to be the best mode, it still couldn't compete with the Jabras, let alone with the likes of the Libratone Track Air Plus, which completely trump these two earbuds among many other within the category. Ultimately, if active noise cancellation is really important to you, it's not going to be that impressive. The same sort of comments were made about the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, at least in their first iteration prior to firmware updates. So hopefully Technics can update this later down the line and therefore improve on the overall active noise cancellation. Now moving to the app, you can customize the name of the earbuds and check the remaining charge of the left and right earbuds. Now through the first tab, you can check the noise cancellation level and you can adjust it to your heart's content. Fully disable it and also go for an ambient sound. So yes, indeed, you do also have a transparency mode which you can adjust, and if you don't want transparency, you can go on attention, which gives you a different level of functionality. Moving through the home screen again, you have got an equalizer function where you've got a 5-band EQ. Now you can see over here my own settings, and of course your hearing profile will probably be different from mine because every ears are unique, but nevertheless, if you want, feel free to copy my settings. Now you have also got preset EQs, and you can fully disable it for a more flatter sound signature, although I do suspect most people will want to customize it to give a little bit of extra personalization. Now the find headphones function is, as the name suggests, it emits a sound to the earbuds, and this can be quite handy if you were to lose the earbuds, let's say behind the sofa. Now the Just My Voice test allows you to enable or disable the feature and see how it works in real time. Now this is quite handy, although the only thing I should point out is with the Just My Voice function enabled and you going through the test, you will sometimes find that your voice is being cut out prematurely, which isn't obviously the way that the earbuds are going to perform when you're on a real life scenario. In other words, when you're taking a call, or like I was doing in my recording tests, you will see that my voice wasn't being cut out. Just something I thought to point out. Now at the bottom you've got a few tabs whereby you can have got quick settings to certain menus that we've already talked about, and then you've got the settings cog. You've got the voice prompt which you can adjust in terms of language, then going back you've got the body color which you can adjust black and silver, that is the home screen icons. And then you can add and remove headphones from the Technics line, and then you've got a auto power off feature that you can enable or disable. The Bluetooth blinking LEDs, which again you can toggle on and off, and that is a little LED found within the inner part of the earbud, which I actually find interesting that Technics allow you that sort of customization. Then you've got the connection mode, which is of course going to be very important because you can enable LDAC through here. You will of course have to enable it through your Bluetooth menu, such as if you're on Android, but it's something that you might want to bear in mind over here. And then from there you do also have the suppression of sound interruptions and delays. Now this is if you are experiencing any sort of video lag or lip sync issues. None that I can report myself, as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, but nevertheless you do have the option for you to choose over here. There's a little disclaimer over here that if you're using the LDAC, you'll want to go on the best effort settings. You'll have to do that through the developer settings on your Android device. If you're not sure how to do that, ask me down in the comment section below. Now furthermore, through here you can enable or disable multi-point, which is of course another key feature, and then you can customize the touch sensors. By that it means the controls of the single tap, double tap and triple tap, and also the touch and hold functions. As you can see over here, I've gone for a more of a media playback, but if I go through it, you've got a few different settings for you to choose. Now what I will say here is the touch sensitivity pads on the right and left earbuds are fantastic. I had absolutely no problems in terms of registering my input, and furthermore I felt it competed with some of the best touch sensitive earbuds out there on the market. Of course some people will prefer a physical button like you'd find on the Jabra Elite 7 Pros, whilst other people will prefer good touch sensitive pads. I kind of sit in the middle, and I must say I had no problems whatsoever when it came to using the Technics on a daily basis as a regular consumer. Now through the app you have also got the general operations, and you can also customize the telephone functions, and furthermore fully disable the touch operations if you don't like them altogether. Now I should also point out a few other settings over here. You've got the touch noise cancellation settings, in other words the toggle that you will going through. You can go from noise cancellation, ambient sound, and turn off ambient sound control, and you can disable one of these options if you're not going to use them. Now moving back, you do also have the ability to adjust the noise cancellation level. This will depend in terms of the environment you're in and of course your own ears. In my case the default configuration seemed to yield the best results. As for the level of background noise reduction, this really depends in terms of the environment you're in, but in my case normal seemed to do a good job and also works simultaneously with my Just My Voice tests. Elsewhere you do also have the ability to enable a voice assistant. You've got Amazon Alexa, and also you can use the voice assistant on your smartphone such as Google Assistant or Siri, or fully disable it if you so wish. Now with the app section out of the way, I should also mention battery life. Now in a best case scenario, and therefore using the AAC or SBC codecs, you'll get around 7 hours of playback time with the earbuds alone, and this extends up to 24 hours if you include the charging case. Now if you were to run the LDAC codecs, this significantly drops to 4.5 hours and 16 hours respectively. Now, while I suspect this will suffice for a lot of consumers, it's just something that you should be mindful about when you're going on long haul trips. Now, as for charging up the earbuds themselves, within the charging case it takes roughly 2 hours from 0 to 100%, and as for the charging case itself, it has a USB Type-C port allowing it for fast charging, which is quite handy if you're going to be leaving the house and you forgot to charge up your earbuds. A quick blast of charge will give you a sufficient amount of battery life for your short commutes. Now, I should also point out that the charging case hasn't got wireless charging capabilities and also isn't IPX4 certified, unlike the earbuds. Indeed, here the earbuds can be taken out when it's lightly raining, and therefore means that you don't have to worry about them getting damaged. Of course, they can't be submerged because they don't have IPX7 or IP67 certification, so it's just something to be mindful about. And so this brings me on to my verdict. Now, granted, the Technics AZ60s don't deliver the same sort of class-leading active noise cancellation of the Libratone Track Air Plus, nor the fantastic mid-range clarity of the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 2, or the customization and personalization of the NuraTrue earbuds, or the overall call quality that one can attain in a quiet environment as the Jabra Elite 7 Pros. But nevertheless, the Technics AZ60s have got a great all-round package that will leave audiophiles with a smile on their face, and as a result they get my Best Buy award. Now, I'd be intrigued to hear your thoughts of the earbuds down in the comment section below, and if you've liked this independent detailed review, definitely do drop a like, subscribe and hit that bell notification, all of which will be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Totally Dubbed, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.